Hi guys, Dustin here with another Star Trek, the official Starships collection from Eaglemoss, and we are taking a look at the Romulan Warbird Valdore. It's a Valdore type, launched in 2379, length of 604 meters. Commander's Donatra, and before I get any further, I actually have sad news to report. This is the camera that I normally use for the Star Trek Starships review and also for the NASCAR diecast review. It is officially done. How? If I turn this on, and what you would see right now is actually a fuzzy picture on the view screen. So it's officially done for. Like, it's fuzzy. I can't distinguish anything out or tell what is in front of me with this on. So basically, it's officially done for. This is the camera that I first started with the Star Trek Starships collection, also from the NASCAR diecast reviews. It's officially done for, so you will not see any more videos with this camera release. So from now on, the camera that I'm currently using is going to be a current replacement, but the show must go on. The show must go on in any way. Alright, enough about that discussion. Let's get on to it. Alright, it's operated by the Romulan Star Empire. It's a Warbird type. Weaponry is disruptor cannons, torpedo launchers, commanded by Donatra. The Valdore is this Warbird right here. It has a huge, majestic wingspan. It's a new, sleeker type of Romulan Warbird that helped battle Shinzon's massive Raymond warships. The Valdore actually resembles as a deadly raptor ready to swoop down and tear apart its prey. Updated and remodeled design in the Romulan Warbird that entered service in the late 2370s. Like the earlier Diderodex class warbirds, the Valdore had an aggressive raptor-like appearance. It would share some of the design characteristics, but that was much smaller at 604 meters in length. Valdore was much more sleeker, also a cowled head that looked like an angular predatory. Are you looking at that had been on the previous design of a Warbird? The new nacelles is much longer. Is elongated warp nacelles were used during the normal operation of the Valdore, while the smaller nacelles were used as ship engaged and cloaking device. These new smaller nacelles were introduced because the nacelles of the older Diderodex class warbirds rated a slight subspace variance at warp 6 and above when cloaking could reveal the ship's position. Starfleet's first encounter of the Valdore, new type of Romulan Warbird, was at Basin Rift in 2379. This region of space was located between Romulus and the Romulan neutral zone. It was filled with electromagnetic distortions that form a swirling masses of green energy patterns. And more on this. The Valdore has two sets of wings. Two sets of the warp nacelles. The outer has smaller nacelles on the end of them. It would used when the ship was running under its cloak. Larger nacelles on the inner rings were used when the ship was not cloaked, capable of propelling at higher warp speeds. The earlier Diderodex class Warbird, Valdore featured intricate feather shaped markings on the exterior of the hull. There was detailing when was even more pronounced, even though the Valdore wasn't half the size of the Diderodex class and was still twice as wide. The Enterprise E was longer. The bridge had a similar layout that found on Starfleet ships. That commanding officer was positioned in the middle, surrounded by other bridge consoles. Donatra was a high-ranking officer in the Romulan military and commander of the Valdore. Highly intelligent and coolly calculating, she had acted as an advisor to Shinzon and backed his coup d'etat against the Romulan Senate. It became clear to her that Shinzon planned to annihilate Earth and commit a genocide. She turned on him. She led 2 new Romulan warbirds into a battle and attempted to destroy Shinzon's warship, the Scimitar. Here, the layout. The battle at the base and rift. And you also got the plan views. You have disruptor cannons along this front right here on both wings. Your main warp nacelle is this long one right here. You also got the secondary, smaller one right here. The engineering section located on these 2 wings. The pulse engines right now back here, and the main bridge. When Shinzon's mighty warship, the Scimitar, fires weapons while cloaked, the Valdore headed to cloak before operating as disruptors and torpedo launchers. Basically, that's also the same for Klingons as well. The U.S.S. Enterprise headed back to rendezvous with reinforcements when attacked by the Scimitar while still in the base and rift. Interference from the electromagnetic distortion inside the rift prevented the Enterprise E from calling for help, and Picard feared the worst when the Valdore and her sister vessel arrived. Much to his belief, however, they were offered help rather than Shazan. Without their assistance, the Enterprise E would almost certainly have been destroyed and left Earth open to attack from the Scimitar's devastating Thalaron weapon. Although the Romulan Warbirds were quickly disabled by the Scimitar, their intervention bought time for Captain Picard and his crew to formulate a plan that resulted in the death of Shinzon and the destruction of his ship. The Valdore made a strafing run on the Scimitar in the mistaken belief that it suffered serious damage. Closing Shinzon's unleashed by a devastating volley of fire that crippled the attacking ship. The sister ship right here was the first to be disabled by the Scimitar. With full speed of blistering fire from the Scimitar's vessel ripped through its shields and blew off one of its wings. The screenwriter John Logan is a huge fan. John Logan was given the opportunity to fill in a major gap in the history of Romulans by explaining who the inhabitants of the twin planet were and how they were forced the Remans to work in dangerous dilithium mines of their home world. This is the man that wrote Star Trek Nemesis. Is actually one of the most admired screenwriters. Credits on Gladiator and the Bond movie Skyfall. To be honest, I've never seen Skyfall or Gladiator. I heard Skyfall was pretty good. Yeah, he's a massive Star Trek fan, knows the series well inside and out. He was a profound influence on Star Trek Nemesis, story was based on a obscure piece of trivia. Past reference that Spock made in Balanced Terror. Speaking of fan, I think my real coup was coming in saying to Rick Berman, "Okay, I want to know who the villains are." He said, "Who?" And I said, "The Remans." And he said, "Who?" I said, "The Remans. There's Romulus and there's Remus." We never seen Remus. We never talked about it. We don't know what it is. Let's use the Remus. Movie actually opened with George and Riker's wedding, playing a storyline that begun 15 years earlier. Remus has been referred a few times. The audience knew nothing about the world of the inhabitants till Logan explored their backstory in Star Trek Nemesis. They were delighted with the vampire-like look in the Remans that Michael Westmore, his makeup team, devised, giving them the way they live in darkness on their world. I'm like the guy that lives in darkness. So, if you have not seen Star Trek Nemesis, please be warned for spoilers in this. If you do not want to see any more spoilers, just basically just click off the video and don't watch it. Or if you want to watch further, that is your choice. The theme of duality was explored by not only through Picard and Shazan, also through Data and his older brother B4, form an essential part of the plan to destroy the Federation. And this middle picture right here, I know it's not looking great, but I think from this angle it probably does. Rick Berman suggests that making Shazan, who is into a clone of Picard, this would actually meant the audience would have a complex response to the villain who has so much in common with the hero. Trying to be better? Well, in the far left, Captain Picard recognized himself in Shazan and was horrified by the darkness that he saw staring out back at him. And on the near left right here, Picard's willingness to sacrifice his own. Picard gave his death, meaning that he has showed how human he had become. So that's probably the spoiler that I said, that I mentioned. So now designing this bad boy right here. A new design was required for Nemesis. John Eaves explains he turned into the classics for explorations. This is the final illustration, combined with the elements of the Klingon bird of prey and the Diderix class for a much more angular and aggressive design. John Negron Jr. came up with a sketch showing the underbelly of his design for the Warbird. There was actually more concepts for the Valdore, shown on scale next to the U.S.S. Enterprise E, like right here. Much massive, much muscular, much bigger. It's actually tending to show how much larger Starfleet's most well-known ships are. More designs. Here's the initial sketches. Both actually has like a raptor-like appearance. Eaves actually wanted to put secondary warp nacelles on the underside of the ship to begin with, but it spoiled the lines of the design, so move them to the ends or the outer wings on the final version. Here's the CG model created by any look off of the computer graphics company of Digital Domain. I'm not sure. Thought there would be it on screen, but I don't think this does. The movie appearance was Star Trek Nemesis. It is the only appearance. There's been no other show. Crew of the Enterprise received word from Starfleet that Cooper results in the installation of a new Romulan political leader, Shazan. Surprisingly, he is from Remus, the dark-shrouded twin world of Romulus, claims to want peace with the Federation. As commander of the closest starship from Romulus, Picard ordered there to negotiate with Shazan. Once in enemy territory, Captain his crew made a startling discovery. Shazan's human and a clone of Picard, originally bioengineered to take place in Starfleet as a spy. Soon clear that Shazan has lured the Enterprise to Romulus not for peace, but because he is dying due to the accelerated aging from the cloning process. To survive, he needs full transfusion of Picard's blood. It is also learned that he had plans to use his massive warship and deadly Dalaran weapon to destroy Earth. The Enterprise became embroiled in battle with the Scimitar, but is heavily outmatched. The Romulan military, realized as is held complicit in Shazan's genocidal plans, dispatches 2 new warbirds to assist the Enterprise and are soon disabled. The Enterprise is forced into one last desperate measures that can result in triumph, but at a huge cost, as what I just mentioned. The Remans were thought as an undesirable cast by the Romulans and had been forced to work in the dilithium mines of the world since the least of the 22nd century. During the Dominion War, the Remans gained a reputation as fierce warriors, but they have been used as cannon fodder during the devastating battles. Like, basically, someone has to take the fall. The Valdore Bridge in Star Trek Nemesis is actually a redress set in the bridge. The Enterprise Z, while the oval view screen was a reused screen used aboard one of the Sona ships from, to be honest, one of the worst movies in the Star Trek franchise, Star Trek Insurrection. I know there's going to be a lot of people saying that Insurrection was better, but to me, I didn't find anything good about it. Donatra, the commander of the Valdore, was played by Dinah Meyer. Screenwriter John Logan named the character after his friend Donna Branson. Her name used for Lieutenant Branson, who was in the helm station of the U.S.S. Enterprise in Nemesis. So the next month is actually going to be the Christmas special. I'm already mentioning that out. We are going to take a look at the Runabout. It's a small Danube-class starship off the designing space stations such as Deep Space Nine. Look how Rick Sternbach and Jim Martin is designed for the Runabout. How the studio model is built and filmed. And here's our little back end design. So here's the Valdore. It's a little small warbird with a huge wingspan. I don't know why they actually call it raptors, because I believe that raptors are actually like dinosaurs that attacks their prey. I basically like call this like a hawk. Swoop down, attack the prey. Here you go. It's actually like a little kit bash version between a bird of prey and a Deuteradix class, because if you actually take a look at the head, at the upper front right here, it looks like it's actually based off of the Deuteradix class Warbird, but it's actually slightly smaller. The warp nacelles I'm talking about, this is the long one, which is actually used for when warp, when decloaked, and the short one right here, focus, it's used for basically when decloaked. It does have like a feathery design, and I actually like this ship. This is actually 3 for 3 for the Romulan Warbirds with amazing detail, if I say so myself. It stands easy on the display stand. That's all you have to do. The wingspan I actually like is actually really incredible. We actually have a ship with a longer wingspan. And I actually like it. This is actually the third Romulan warship with a amazingly detailed design. Anyway, that's all there is for this video. I don't know what I'm gonna do to this. I don't know if I'm gonna have to buy a new camera, because I think it may be cheap for me to buy a new camera instead of making a desperate attempt to basically get this one repaired. I'm not sure if there's any hope on getting this fixed or replaced. I'm not sure if the warranty is still good. I think this was bought 2011. I'm not sure if the warranty is still good, but I don't know. If it is, I possibly may get a new one. If not, I may have to get a new one. I'm sorry about the wait for this. I know it's been maybe 5 days. I was out of town and I was unable to film. I should have had it filmed and be ready to post. I'm going to make sure that does not happen again. So, yeah, my name is Dustin, and I will see you later.